Shwmae Ffrindiau, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaden Adwin for anyone who's new here, and today I've got a challenge for you. I am creating a giant planet diorama that I want you to create something for. I don't mind whether it's going to be a habitat, a build of some kind. Basically, I don't want to stop anyone's creativity. The only thing I would like you to do is use my planet diorama as the base of your build. And I kind of want to see what other people can do with this planet. Why does Planet Zoo have to be on planet Earth? Why can't Planet Zoo be on a different planet? And so that's what I kind of wanted to do with this. I know what I want to do on this planet, but I think it'd be really interesting to see what you would put on this planet. So I started off with the diorama. If you don't know how to start dioramas, I started a new zoo in Sandbox to create my own diorama. Once you've clicked on new zoo and selected the biome you want, I selected desert to go for the new arid animals. It's a little hint of what I want to put on my planet. On terrain type, you can scroll down to diorama and that will open up a brand new diorama. Default is a square, but I did not want a square. So you go into diorama settings then, which is near the zoo settings, so just go over to that. You can change the terrain, but be aware once you've changed the terrain and you've like manipulated it yourself, if you redo that terrain then it will reset. So don't do that if you've downloaded my planet. I picked the sphere or the hemisphere, and I did the biggest one I could. That would give us enough space to put whatever we like on this planet. So that's how I got the bottom of the planet. The shapes were just too small. So there's a lot of terraforming in this while I explain all of the challenge to you. So I'm just going to be doing all my terraforming in the background, which is really fun. I love terraforming. It's like digital clay. For this challenge that I would like you to do if you have Planet Zoo, I would love for you to build on this planet that I've created. My idea was Mars, nothing to do with the guy who destroyed the bluebird. I've got an animal that I would like to build a habitat for in mind, and I've also played around with this a little bit further on than what you're going to see, just to check whether it would work, because I don't want to like give you this challenge and then it's like impossible to do on this big ball, because that wouldn't really be fair, would it? And you might also know that I've changed the background. I found that easier when terraforming, so I could see like edges to make it more ball shaped, and that's in the diorama settings as well. You can override the sky. It's at the top where the terraforming was. I don't even remember the name of these things. I was just playing around, and you can change the background to any color you like. So if you switch over the override button and then you can click on any color you like. I sort of made mine a darker grey so I could see the difference between the terrain and the sky, but you could make it black and make it more like space themed. You could add lights to make stars. There's so much like creativity that could be done. I don't want to like give too many like specific examples because I don't want to hinder your creativity. What would you like to do on this planet? Because this is kind of what I want to see. I don't want to ask you to lock terrain. You can manipulate this terrain. The only thing I'd like to ask is whether you keep like the general shape of the planet. If you completely change the planet, it's no longer like the challenge of building on a giant ball. Believe me, it is a challenge because of gravity. The gravity is still like coded for Earth, not for a planet, so it doesn't stick to the sides. I'll show you that later on. But I was sort of thinking like if you wanted to create like a crater in the planet, and build in the crater. That might be interesting. You could also add things around the planet, like you could make Saturn. I don't know my planets enough. Yes, Saturn's got the rings. If you wanted to terrain paint this to keep it a different color. I also find, because we're in diorama mode, you can change the time of day to change the color of your planet. I find in the morning it looks most like Mars, because it's got like this orangey red tone to it and it like almost glows. If you want to find this planet on Steam Workshop, so you can subscribe to download it and put your own build on it. It's going to have the word space in the title, so all you need to do is when you go into the Planet Zoo Steam Workshop, search for the word space, but it will be infinitely easier to find my specific planet if you click diorama. There's little tick boxes on the side. Find the one that says diorama, and there are already some space themed dioramas. I think there was 3 the last time I looked, but you should be able to find mine because mine will be published by me and no one else has my name. Any social I have is quite easy to keep the same name because no one else has my name on the internet, so that's a little bit easier for you to find it. Subscribe to download it, and then once you open up your game, you want to go into my zoos. I've done a blueprints tutorial, so there is that, but I will explain on here as well. You'll have my zoos downloads, so you want to go into downloads, and in downloads then you will have, depending on how many you've downloaded, a couple of zoos up on there. Click on the one that looks like my planet, and then it should be like open zoo or start zoo in sandbox, because it's a sandbox thing. Not quite sure of the wording on there, but you'll find the planet then in that little section of my zoos. If you do build something and you would like to show me or show it off, upload it to the Steam Workshop with the same name, so like space in the title, maybe even leave a hashtag. Maybe I'll leave a hashtag as well. So I'll have a hashtag in the description, something like PZ in space, so like Planet Zoo in space. I'm really hoping you will like to share it, but if you wouldn't like me to put it onto any of my socials, let me know in the description so I can see it, but like I won't put it on any socials. But if you would like it on socials, I'm gonna give you a couple of months. October's gonna be like Halloween, so maybe like Halloween we'll look at all of the sci-fi space things. Yes, I fucking love Halloween. I'm ready for it. Ready? Yeah. It didn't go down, it just went behind my head. So say by like Halloween time, that's giving almost 2 months. I will then do a showcase and I'll look around all of your fun space themed builds on this diorama. The title needs space in it, and the description, if you can, do hashtag PZ in space. And then if you're not sure how to upload your build then of the Planet Diorama, give it a save to create like the original thumbnail of your zoo. You save it at a certain angle, so if you want it to look like the planet, like how I've got my original thumbnail, zoom out a bit and then save. So the last bit that you can see before you save will be the thumbnail of the zoo. And then you go back into my zoos again from the main page. You'll see your last save. It should be the most recent one, and then you click on it obviously, and it'll have resume, delete, or upload to workshop. Upload to workshop, new workshop item, give it a title and a description. There are no tags for zoos, it'll just have the zoo tag and the diorama tag, I think. Make sure it's public so I can actually find it. If you want to add a description of kind of your thinking behind your build, that would be really helpful to me too. I've done so much like research about Mars because mine is going to be set in Mars, but again, your planet doesn't have to be even a real planet. It could be a made up planet for whatever you would like. It can have anything on it. It doesn't even necessarily have to have like oxygen. I'm not even thinking about that because it's a diorama. It's kind of like a toy, right? I'm definitely going to be doing my own builds on top of this diorama, which I'll be sharing maybe next week. I wanted this challenge video to be separate to my build, so if you just want to take on the challenge, I'm not going to influence you with any sort of build. A little bit of like trickiness with this is paths, but luckily you can like kind of make things float around the diorama too. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the terraforming. So for the necessary buildings that you need in a zoo, I chuck them at the back where the lighting isn't good on the planet and then made paths float around the back. It's like a sandbox zoo. Don't necessarily have to have guests in this diorama, so maybe don't have to worry too much about paths. Just make sure like the staff can get to stuff if you make a habitat. Hey, if you're just making a building on top, you don't have to worry about paths at all, do you? But that is something you might need to like experiment a bit with. But it is possible to put the staff buildings and paths on top of this planet, and you can also add habitat barriers. I added null ones because, again, you can switch off escaping in sandbox, and where are they going to escape to? The other thing that I did have a little bit of problems with was gravity. So that might be another thing that you might need to look into. Some of the enrichment items that I added in kept rolling off the planet. Like... and it'd snap back and roll again. That is my challenge set. Can you build something in Planet Zoo in space? If you would like to let me know that you have completed the challenge, let me know in the comments as well. If you have any ideas for what you would like to put on the planet you want to share with me as well, let me know in the comments too. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already and you would like to, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I usually do long forms on Wednesdays and shorts tutorials on Sundays. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you joined in this space challenge, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye.